Good evening, hello, welcome, and hello. I said it twice. Hello, back to Shadows We Fear. I cannot speak. My name is Matt with Power, aka Chef, aka Matt, and you are on Immersive Realms. How are we all doing this fine, lovely weekend? I can hear the Twitch. That's probably not helping me. There we go. How are we all doing, chat? And I hope you are doing well, is the answer to that, because I can't quite hear you. We are back on Immersive Realms here with Matt with Power as your host. I'm playing my 5th edition campaign. I am really waffling today. Andy, please help me. I'm in the middle of a crisis right now.
you're sinking there, buddy. You're sinking there. Hello, everybody. Welcome, especially to the ones over on YouTube. We're finally live on YouTube, guys. We're finally there. So if you want to go over to YouTube. It's youtube.com/@immersive-realms.
Send the link tree.
Yeah, it's in the link tree for sure. I was getting to that, Mr. Community Manager. But anyway, you can go to the link tree and you will find all of our links in there. Make sure you go and hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell so you know the notifications coming on. That's weird saying that, but there we go. If you're on the Twitch side, please hit the follow and follow us along on this journey. We have exciting things coming, which is very close to being announced. We're almost there. So that will be good to get out there and you guys can see that. But yeah, welcome along now that we're on YouTube and Twitch. It's going to be a kind of weird kind of thing. We'll probably need to adjust a few things and get used to it, but welcome along. So that's really about it for now. I will throw it back to you. Oh wait, no, there's not. I just forgot. We do have 2 subscriptions come in. We have the first subscription from Mr. Ghost Malone, who says, I threw up. And then the second subscription came from from Matt with Yas Queen. So there we go. That's how it goes. That's all my announcements. I'll throw it back to you, DM.
Thank you very much. And I promise for any of the new viewers, I will be better at introducing. I'm not normally this shit. A little heads up though, we will be here on the Shadows We Fear next week with any given luck, provided the scheduling goes to smite us down. But for the next 2 Fridays thereafter, we will not be doing Shadows We Fear. We're going to be doing a one-shot over 2 weeks. Weird, I know, isn't it? Set in the Shadows We Fear universe. More on that later and closer to the time. Just a bit of a heads up, there will be a slight break from the usual schedule due to, again, scheduling issues. But with all that out the way with, let us jump into tonight's episode of The Shadows We Fear. Last we left off, our party had travelled deep into the dark and dangerous woods known as the Green Gorge Forest in order to hunt down and slay a mighty beast that the party's new acquaintance, Israelion, had watched slay his people all those many years ago when he was but a little boy. You tracked and skulked and hunted through the woods and eventually found indeed this creature. You did a mighty big battle with it, upon realizing it had a couple of children, and after a very fierce battle ensued, you did emerge victorious, slaying the adult and the adolescents as well. Azraelion took his trophy, and you had to make your way back to your tent, your magical tent, as you had decided to leave it after you found a survivor from a scouting party stuck in the woods. And you made your way through. You picked up a new friend in the form of the soloist, they're called. Our good old buddy who has been cursed by Madame Meyer. I can't remember his name right now. Where's my notes? His name was Gend Autumn Smile. You're a southern accented cello playing man stuck in the wood, who was a skeleton just attached to a cello. You found him, agreed to take him away from this horrible place and bring him back to civilization, popping him inside the bag of holding as you do with all your new friends. And then you found your tent, thankfully, having found the right path. You all took a sleep. However, 2 of you in the night snuck away without anybody else noticing, even from each other, with overlapping times and watches. Falcoris, you snuck out into the wood after Lucia had been taken away from your mind, and for once your brain was quiet. And you called out to the wood asking for Madame Meyer to recognize you. You went back to bed, and quickly afterwards, Elleril, the party rogue, then did the exact same thing, basically, keeping it secret from each other, also calling out and asking Madame to make a new deal. And that was where we left off. As you entered the new day, we should say, sorry. You step out of the tent, one by one, on guard, as you are not where you left. Even those you snuck out on the cold night could smell the trapped musky scent of mud and decay and foliage on the forest floor, mixed with the perpetual smell of damp. But now none of that exists. Instead, you are somewhere totally new. The hostility of the Green Gorge has suddenly given way to an open space. Where there has been a darkness from a thick canopy that blots out the sun, finally, warm rays fall down and brush against your scratched cheeks. A warm breeze lazily rolls on through, carrying smells of flowers, that smell alongside the dew in the air. You can see not muddy earth to walk on, but soft blades of the greenest grass you ever laid your eyes upon. And you all step through the threshold of your tent and can see the dark trees of the Green Gorge forming a loose circle around the space you find yourself in, very wide, several hundred meters from end to end. In the middle is a stone structure, almost totally covered by moss and lichen. It is square in its shape, and and clearly has a space in the center like a courtyard of sorts, or a garden perhaps. And reaching up through it, stretching high into the sky, taller than any of the other trees that made up the dreaded wood you've just passed through, is a gigantic oak tree. A trunk must be easily 40 feet thick in most parts, or thicker in others where the branches emerge. At a loose guess, where you stand on the ground, you think this tree must be coming close to, if not at least 400 feet tall. And as you get closer now, you can see that leaves start to fall down from this tree. Oak leaves in a normal look, but far bigger than your average leaf.
Does this tree look like the description of the tree that my people were looking for?
It's fun. There's never actually been an accurate description of the tree. All you guys have been told in your stories and fables passed down from generation and word of mouth is just of a very large, very holy tree. There's never been eyes laid upon it to give an accurate description, or at least if there has, they haven't really survived word of mouth over the centuries.
Sure.
Stepping out, can I instantly start looking around the surroundings, please, to try and figure out what the fuck is going on, if I recognize anything?
Make a perception check if you wouldn't mind, please, sir.
Natural one, so nothing.
You are just overcome by the weirdness of this. Something doesn't make sense, and you are too bamboozled to really start trying to piece together what's happened. You're just not. There's a mental whiplash you're going through right now.
I'll yell into the tent. Nevin, you might want to wait here.
Is everything okay?
The tent's moved. We don't know they'll be back.
You sure? I can help. I can fight.
If you want.
That would be terrifying, right? You've just been taunted by a fucking monster. You've been told to stay in a tent and not coming in, and your savior's come back. You're like, yeah, everything's fine. We're going back. What do you mean the tent's moved?
She does look sheepish as she steps out, but she's got a blade at her side, sort of thing. She has her hand on the hilt, and she doesn't see the threat in this much apparently nicer environment. She doesn't see any danger. She's not letting her guard down, don't get me wrong. She's not as on edge as you might be.
I'll just kind of look at us really on, and then between the party, well, I suppose really just Kilgorm and Taylor. Taylor. That's the real person. Hi, Taylor. Lavender and Kilgorm. I'll look between them like, is this what we think it is, or is it his tree? As a kind of head nod towards Australian.
Is it what I think it is, or is it his tree?
Make an insight check.
Okay, let's get 14 on the die. I'm going to character sheet. Probably somehow should have it ready. It's dirty 20, that's right, sorry.
Dirty 20.
That's how math works.
It definitely doesn't look like Madame Mara's domain. with the barren wasteland and the amphitheater-esque structure that you once found yourselves upon, making deals and bargaining with. There was no, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like the fog.
Wall of fog that blocked your path. There's a big fuck off tree there.
Can I walk up to the tree and cast detect magic because I touch it?
Before you get too close to the tree, you begin to walk towards this, like say, the stone structure, and as you begin to approach, instead of hearing the squelch on the boot of moist mud, instead your feet are walking on clouds and soft grass, and even through your boots you can just tell this green is soft. And as you get closer to the structure, and you can see that the stone itself is ancient stone, it looks like, and it probably rises up about 30 feet or so. But coming out of one of the many, many doors, it's one of those like open plan structures per se. You got like, there's no direct doors themselves, just doorways per se.
Mm-hmm.
A woman begins to emerge from them. Now she stands about 5'5". She looks human, but she has a big mane of bushy hair with thick curls that hold flowers, preventing you from seeing any like identifying elven-esque features. She has dark skin, and she dresses herself in clearly woven items from nature itself. As she draws closer to you, Azraelion, being the first one to approach, she smells beautiful.
Oh.
A very sweet aroma of roses float around her. And as she walks through, you see some of the flowers that are sort of buttressed against the stone structure. The flower heads themselves turn to look towards her like a sunflower facing the sun.
My dear, you smell lovely. I've never smelled such an aroma before.
Thank you.
May I ask where we are?
You are safe. You are in the Green Gorge.
The Green Gorge is not associated with the word safe.
No, it's quite not, isn't it? But I can assure you, you may rest here. You may find peace here. Nothing can hurt you.
May I ask your name, dear?
Of course. My name is Shanti, or as people would more commonly know me as, the Wild Mother. But Shanti is my mortal name.
Not as a religious person, being Falcoris, does he recognize the Wild Mother saying her name?
Make a religion check, please.
Yeah.
Does the religious person recognize?
Make a religion check, absolutely.
I take it I don't need to make a religion check. I know.
You know who the Wild Mother is, yeah, you would know from your background.
Can I make one bit specifically to try and figure out what she means by like her human form?
Yeah. Certainly, absolutely. You can certainly make a religion check as well.
Rest in peace, my notes. It's coming apart. It's just pages. Anyway, sorry.
Oh no, notebook gave it up. Has your notebook died?
Yes, the pages are coming out. Anyway.
There was just such an explosion of figure out as the Wild Mother that you got excited and ripped your book apart.
As she says, like the Wild Mother, I'll get that sort of facial expression that Aragorn had when he first witnessed Gandalf as Gandalf the White in sheer shock and awe, and I'll go down on my knees and I'll just worship the ground that she walks on.
Fair enough. Pausing that, as Azraelion drops to his knees, the three of you, and Lavender as well, if you would like to make a religion check, like the rest of your stun party are doing. Falcoris, with your very visible reaction, what's your check?
That's a visible reaction for me. Falcoris does not have a fucking clue with a 3.
3? You've heard of the Wild Mother, but Lord knows what she actually is supposed to do. Something about gardens and flowers, maybe. Wash?
16.
16? You know far more. And Kilogram?
11.
11. And Lavender, did you... Oh, shite! I didn't know we were in Irish for that one.
18.
18. Lavender, again, you'd actually know... Same as Wash, you, again, sharing a sort of similar-esque background to Azraelion, you wouldn't worship the Wild Mother yourself unless you chose to, of course, but in your sort of rural upbringing, a lot of people would worship the Wild Mother to bring upon them, a good hunt, and, just good fortune in the woods and caring for nature itself. Wash, again, you would know this in your practice as well, that the Wild Mother is although she might not be seen initially as one of the most powerful gods out there per se, if you're looking at raw power, she is very, very well respected. She commands her power from the respect that she just deserves, from being looking after Mother Nature itself almost. She is the cool breeze or the hurricane. She is the gentle wave or the tsunami. And Kelegom, for you trying to work out her mortal form, all that you can sort of ascertain is, you know, the gods will sometimes have a mortal disguise per se, to if they want to mingle in with the populace. So best you can ascertain is maybe what she's referring to when she calls herself by Shanti. But yes, don't really get much more past that. But as Raylan, as you sort of drop to your knees and, as you say, start worshipping the ground that she's standing upon, she smiles and does a little half laugh to herself, and she reaches down and puts her hands under your arms and sort of encourages you to stand. Please, there's no need. You have done me a great service. All
What-
of you.
What do you mean we have done you a great service?
You have done more than I think you intended to do. Although, forgive me, but someone's missing, are they not? As she looks over your party.
So I'll point to Nathan.
No.
Well-
No, you weren't there.
Wait, are you saying that you can sense another? Well, you sensed another being with us.
During the fight, yes. And no offense to you, stranger, your soul doesn't quite match the energy of the one that's missing here. Raven goes, no offense taken, it's fine. I'll speak with the goddess, it's cool.
Okay, so Falcor is still running. Okay, and I'll give her a slight nod, like slight bow. To keep the story kind of short without boring your time, I was merged with another soul, by the one known as Madam Maya. She flung her soul into my body, and well, for a while we were together. I used her powers, we used my body, and we went forth, and that's probably what you sensed, is the fact that I was using her power at the time. However, after the battle,
Right.
not long after, I can no longer hear her. Lucia, her name is, in my head, and her powers I can no longer access.
Lucia. What a gorgeous name. I should find her for you. If Madame Myers got her hands on her, she can't have gone too far.
I would appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
You had said that we are safe. Are we safe from Madame Maya? Could you please give us more information?
Of course, she will not dare come anywhere near here. I say dare, it's more of a mutual respect for one another. She has her place in the natural order of things, and I have mine here. This is a place where a sanctuary can be found. She can only enter upon invitation.
Is this the tree that my people have been looking for?
She sort of looks over her shoulder and gives a very loving smile, and she goes, yes, this is the tree that your people speak.
Then why has this tree been so heavily protected, so heavily guarded? Why has my people not been able to get here?
Now that is not my doing. Come, follow me, please. And without waiting for you to accept or acknowledge, she begins to turn around and walk through the structure once more that she emerged from initially.
Go ahead.
You all follow suit?
Yeah, Falcor is walking. I'll follow behind sheepishly.
She follows through, and again, it's very much only way I can describe the structure is when you in Skyrim, when you hit Folk Reef, like all the structures are sort of out there, like the sort of hollow circular structures, like the tomb sort of things. Imagine that, but square sort of thing. Hollow wall, hollow inside, with a massive courtyard bit in the middle, but bigger than the Skyrim ones, obviously. And as you emerge through, again, you can see the base of this tree is massively thick. Like I say, for a tree, it's about 40 feet wide at the base. Goes up and up and up. And it very much, although it's an oak tree, the trunk of it sort of looks like the American redwood trees, where it's just no branches lowered down. And when it gets like over the sort of 3/4 or 2/3 mark, that's when the branches all bloom out in a very, very wide arc. at the base here, you can see there's a mix of flowers, plants, some of which lavender you swear don't grow naturally in this side of the world. You've never seen them, certainly in your neck of the woods. Um, the smells, if any of you have hay fever, you don't in this place. It's amazing. And she just sits down in the grass upon this nice, comfy red mushroom, just sits upon it. And you guys, she sort of gestures for you to sit on the ground with her. Maven will be joining you, of course, by the way. She is not passing this opportunity down herself either. um, but she takes a seat. Azraelian, for me to answer your question, there's a history lesson I would like to bestow upon you all, if you all wouldn't mind hearing my tale.
Of course.
Well, as I say, my name is the Wild Mother, but I would insist you call me Shanti when we are here on this plane. In Olympia, it'll be a different story, but we are not there. Many thousands of years ago, before the gods fell apart, shall we say politely, I wanted to grow a Lorenthal, a beautiful garden, the most wonderful garden that anyone's ever seen, a haven of nature itself. But I was a bit preoccupied with other things. It was still early doors for the planet as a whole, and I didn't have much time to spare, so I sent my mortal lover to do it for me, Celestra. I gave her my boons, and I sent her here to Lorenthal, to this very spot. And she started to grow my beautiful garden in my name. She did it so wonderfully. However, shortly afterwards, Bane, god of oppression and terror, learned of what was happening, and in his wicked ways, and just so he could get a one-up over me and to use his oppression, of course, he decided to grow his own garden in a wicked way. And the Green Gorge was formed before Celestra could expand out further. The darkness and the evil of the Green Gorge grew. And then he tried to take a step further and even kill Celestra. And he very nearly succeeded. However, she called out for me and I came down and dropped everything I was doing to help my lover. I came down from the heavens and Bane and I did battle. Didn't quite kill him, but it's hard to kill a god. But I bested him and he fled. Not before Celestia was mortally wounded, though. The damage was done. The dream of the beautiful garden was gone. Instead, the oppression of the Green Gorge, somewhat fitting for its creator, was all that remained. And in my anger and in my fury, Celestia never still gave up. She, with my blessing, became this. And she points over to the tree behind her. She acts as a beacon, an anchor, if you will, for the one hope that I had. My hope being that this could reach out to everybody, but the oppressions of Bane, they're too powerful for us to break free. Celestra can only hold this, and even then it takes her so much effort. Your people of Baylor have tried, but it's not I that wishes them to fail, but Bane. Because this would give them hope. What you, brave individuals, have killed was one of Bane's many hounds. That is no small feat. After he left a few of them behind. Over the years I've tried to do what I can, but I have duties elsewhere, of course. I can't always do this. But you guys have done me a great service in killing 3 of them. And you have my thanks, and if Celestia could speak, hers too.
Are there many more of them?
From what I can sense, 1. But
Alright.
do not take this as a loss. These creatures are bound to each other. You have made it weaker. You have made Bane himself weaker.
Oh. Wait. Should I speak on behalf of everyone that we're glad we could help whatever way we could.
Trust me, it is I that am glad that you decided to help in the way that you did. And I would consider myself indebted to you. Not often someone of my beings can say that.
Well, if you can sense where this hound is,
Mm-hmm.
then why not point us in the direction and we can finish this once for all?
I have other plans.
What the plans for us?
Cool. Not other plans for you, no. This might not sound very... I don't know how much you people know about me and the image that the priests and the priestesses might paint of me, but I'd quite like some revenge myself.
Respect that. Respect that a lot.
You have opened up a gateway that hasn't been open for me in quite a long time, and I think I need to do something.
Have these hounds been your guard? Is that why you're not able to leave?
They haven't been my guard, no, but they've been the guards for keeping you out. Not me in. I'm still free to travel as I want to the plains and places I do wish to see.
Why did you bring us here?
You were in danger.
You keep saying that we were in danger, but who were we in danger from?
Well, when you kill a god's powerful demons, the gods take notice. You attracted Bane's eye that night.
Alright, well, to be a little bit selfish here,
Please.
sorry, but you know of the parting of souls from myself, and you said you can help find her.
It can take time, but I can.
Alright. Would it be the case that she would merge with me again? She would be inside my head? Or would you be able to have her be a standalone? Her own body, her own self.
Now that is the tricky part.
Now,
Where's
I
the body?
I must pre-warn you, this is probably gone into one of your compatriots, one of your sister. I'm not sure how this works. I'm not a religious man myself, I'm sorry. But the Raven Queen's probably looking for herself because Lucia technically died. From what I know. Madame Maya snatched that soul and merged it with me.
Okay. Interesting. So you don't have the body?
Unfortunately, it's not even on this plane. Well, it's on the Shadowfell.
I can try and find her. And I might need to have a word with a certain someone. A mutual acquaintance who lurks in these woods. Or
Yes.
beyond.
Beat yourself, Destiny.
The very one.
Send all regards.
You're all welcome to stay here in the meantime, and I would recommend when you're ready to leave, I can place you in the world wherever you would like to go. I wouldn't advise hanging in the Green Gorge for the foreseeable.
And can I ask, is there more to Madame Maya than just a hag? She just seems very capable of twisting fate and
He is
interfering with things beyond mortal.
She is far more than just but a hag that you would write about and contract you upon your guild halls. She is the living embodiment of fate. There are several such living embodiments. When the gods were created, however we were, there were sub-gods made. Some of them, well, one of them you've met. Destiny, fate, Madame Maya. She is as old as I. She is not quite as powerful as I, and my brothers and sisters. There is a good and a bad to her. She is a balance. She's not my favorite of the younger ones. Love would be my favorite. I heard she was out in Sandaria recently. But there are physical embodiments of very powerful things out there.
Matt above table.
Yes, hello.
What was the monk? What was the monk's name at the monastery?
The Eternal?
The Eternal. That's it.
Yeah.
It's in character. Is the Eternal one?
You met him.
So, it's fascinating.
I heard you helped the Eternal out too.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't under selfish pretense.
Selfish or not. It does not matter how you came to be and did the actions you did. I dare say that when you Israelion set off in this wood to slay a beast, you didn't do it with my intentions at heart. No, you did it to get your revenge. I don't care how you've done your things, you've done them. Be proud of what you've done. You, defenders of the throne, the Twilight Company I hear you call yourselves, you're making waves in high up places. Your name has been noted in the Great Halls.
If
Sorry, you go, Caleb.
Speaking of which, if you are truly indebted to us, or if someone else has anything they'd like to request more, by all means grant that. But once the Twilight Company is no more, I want my name stricken from the record. I don't want people to think that just another DeSoto was born into greatness. I think the people of Lowenfeld need to hear the thief that lived in the sewer decided to do the right thing.
It's funny, I might not be the best person to speak with on that. I could throw in a good word when I reach out to someone later this evening. I can do more. What you're asking is more of a manipulation of the past, present, and potential futures. That's beyond my realm. However, as you call her, Madame Maya might be a bit more acquainted to that. You have had dealings with her previously, so I don't think I need to warn you about a price might need to come from it. And I would advise, as friends, if we might call ourselves that, to be careful with her.
Been bitten before. I did plan on asking her for for the same thing. But
That's who else's attention there was upon you last night. Oh, that's interesting. The Green Gorge has never been so alive before.
thank you.
You're very welcome.
You know of the Twilight Company, which is quite surprising to be honest with you, but there we go.
Surprising. You've affected Lorenthal's destiny.
Didn't think it would stretch up to this high, agents. Anyways,
When you've got two champions.
it's true. 2. Wait. You only know of 1. And I'll start like eyeing.
She doesn't say
someone
anything.
pick
She's
up.
looking at you, waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Anyways, I presume you know of yeah.
Watch is like,
Watch just looking at each other like. "Who?"
Watch you point fingers at me and be like, "You bitch, you did it."
Do you know of what we're barreling towards? Our goals, in the sense of what's been happening across Lorenthal and the rest of the world. There's 2 fronts, essentially. The final say, which I'm pretty sure you probably know of. Being your sister's old champion. And, the Shadowfell, the Great Reclaimer. Do you know any information that can help us?
I'm going to sound petty, but please don't call her my sister.
Noted. I'll not call her your sister again.
Bear in mind, she was never one of us. She barged her foot in the door.
Again, my apologies.
I'm
Not a
not-
religious person.
It's quite all right. I'm just being petty after all. Well, the Shadowfell is a place I am less than absent in. I don't know if you've ever been there, but you will not find my gifts on that plane of existence, unfortunately. Instead, you will find the Raven Queen's presence instead. I did hear, though, that she's made a bit of a mess of it. I heard once upon a time it was a beautiful wasteland, a beautiful plane of existence, and now it is wastes. But who am I to judge? Just not my style. I know not of anything happening on the Shadowfell. Normally we talk to each other, but the Raven Queen is one of those... We don't really attend many meetings that overlap, let's say. Or the ones that she's invited to, she has an excuse not to come for. She doesn't really hang out at our table and eat at our halls and foods. So unfortunately, your quest there, I am none the wiser. And I do apologize. However, the final say is a tricky one. I do remember him well, unfortunately. How can I help? What would you like to know, to the best of my knowledge, of course?
Oh, jeez. I've got a few questions, if you don't mind. First being, we just recently learned that he copied himself, found a way to bring himself back through his armor, having different pieces. We found that he had 2 clones, essentially. From what we know, we've managed to destroy 1. There was a topic of he could have maybe created another, so 3 in total. 1 now destroyed and 2 left. Would you know anything about that? Could you sense if he only has 1 left, or have any information of where the others could be?
During the days of old, when we were doing battle, when the final say was created, it was one of the very few times when the Raven Queen and I spoke, not one-to-one, but in conversations with others, of course. And we were all doing the same thing of delegating champions and gifting boons and creating weapons and new ways for a new war. She approached us with the idea of the final say and the whole idea that what if, in her typical fashion, death not be the answer, but what if death was just an inconvenience to this one? What if he couldn't actually die? What if he was slain in battle, 'twas but a ghost you fought? She floated the idea. She spoke with very powerful arcanists at the time, and they did indeed create 3 of these arcane suits. Ghosts, they're just simply referred to. The idea is simple. The final say has a main suit, if you want to call it that, and he can project an essence of his soul only into one of these ghosts. It moves as if he was there. It has a physical form, not like a ghost in the literal sense. It will do damage. It can kill. But if it is slain, the essence of the soul eventually is returned to him. There is a moment of weakness when his actual soul in his actual form would be weakened if a suit is destroyed. There was 3 made in total. 1 was fallen in the Great War, and if you fall another one, that means he either has 1 suit left, or his final form if it's not been destroyed elsewhere.
Okay, that's good information, I suppose. It means that we've got 2 fights with them. So, is there any way you know of our location? Even roughly?
I think I do. I think he is in Alria still. I could confirm it, but from what my feelings in this world are, he is in the new land of the dead.
That makes sense, I suppose. You did take it over.
Take it over or raise a whole country.
Another question I have for you about the final say. As much as, obviously, if we fight them and we take down a suit and then we go for the main soul essence, do we have to rip that out of the suit to be able to kill them fully? Or if we completely destroy this main suit, would that be it finished? For example, best way I could probably make a comparison is through vampires. Obviously, you could kill the body of the vampire, but you need to find a coffin to destroy it. Could his soul move, even if we managed to kill off the soul? Could his soul move to a new, even different suit to make a main one? Or do we have to completely rid of his essence through everything?
I would need to speak with her on that.
Right.
If you would like to cash in a favor, I could.
Honestly, I think we're at odds ends anyway. I think we need all the favors we can get. We're about to go into this fight with the final say, and then we have the Shadowfell looming, whoever the great reclaimer is.
You've been drinking?
No, ma'am, I'm not when I'm about to go into battle.
Oh, you're missing out.
I mean, nature and all that, I understand. But, yeah, whatever you can do to help us, whatever you think you can help us with. I sound so stupid that I'm asking a god, like, what can you do to help us?
Well, I am actually surprisingly limited. You think of gods as omnipresent beings that can do literally anything with a snap of our fingers. Even we are bound by rules. But I will begrudgingly speak to her, the Raven Queen.
She'll probably understand the fact that she's took one of us as her champion. Joel, his name is. You mentioned the Twilight Company and Joel. I'm pretty sure she'll be a little bit more probably receptive, maybe defensively so, but still receptive.
I can speak to her. And
She did.
ask her to grant you an audience, even.
She did essentially send us on this path to destroy the final say in her name.
Her greatest mistake. Well, second greatest, but there we go. The first is just an opinion.
And I suppose one last question, and it does relate to the final say. You might not be able to pinpoint him, but you might be able to pinpoint another. A being called Hex Warbreaker, a mortal, has walked these lands for a while. She worships a final say. If we could find her, because she is... how to put it? She's making this fight very hard because of her ways.
Worshipping the final say is a new one, I must say. He's not one that... well, he wasn't one that commanded worship. I don't know if this millennia have broken him further, but either way, I can search. These things will take time. I would give me a few hours or so to speak to both Madame Maya, try and reach out to your person of interest, and speak with her too.
I'm forever grateful.
Makes two of us. Is there any other requests of me? As she sort of looks around the rest of the party.
May I make 2 requests?
Certainly.
One, may I touch the tree?
You are very more than welcome.
And 2, may I have a token of yourself, so I have something to remember this moment by.
Just a token?
It could be anything.
I shall think upon it.
Thank you. Then I'll go to touch the tree.
Mm-hmm. As you touch the tree, you can almost feel vibration. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry, a permanent, constant vibration. And initially, it's rhythmic, and then you realize it's almost as if you can feel like your hand on someone's chest, a heartbeat. You can feel as if this tree has a pulse. This that just goes on and on and on. And the bark is warm, like touching someone's skin. But it feels like bark, doesn't feel like skin. That'd be fucking gross if it was like a fleshy bark.
Yeah, let's... yep. Nope.
Flesh tree.
And Bane's here.
No, yeah, the tree
Like bark
feels
that's
warm.
been out in the sun.
Yeah, how about that? Snap. No, it feels warmer than that. It feels as if, again, like, you know, hugging someone. The warmth of the person is in the palm of your hand right now.
Yeah. I'll take a moment. I'll just keep my hand there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just let out this deep breath. As if I've been given some sort of closure that I know this tree exists. I know the reason why it's been protected. And then I'll exhale and I'll take my hand off.
As Raelion exhales, you almost, all the rest of you, and you don't notice this yourself, as you're sort of caught in this moment of finding some peace within your very angry soul, if you don't mind me saying. A soul that has been hanging on to this memory of torment. Not all because of this tree, but this tree played a crucial part in that. And knowing it's real, knowing that you've avenged your mother and everybody else that died that night. Knowing that you found it, and you're here, and you can feel it. You let out this deep, this sigh. And the rest of you guys, Wash, Lavender, Eliril, and Falcoris, a wind blows through this sacred temple that you're in that matches his sigh and just brushes over your faces. And the second that Israeliel stops sighing and finding peace and balance within his soul, the sigh stops and the wind stops. And Shanti, the Wild Mother, sort of looks over at Azrael's direction even though he's behind her, sort of turns her head a little bit and she smiles.
We can control the winds. He's a windy boy.
Wind boy.
The Wind Father, happiest man in Warrenfall.
Well, unless there's anything else of me, make yourselves at home, so to speak. I'm going to go fulfill some requests, shall we say. If you need me, please just come and ask. Even if you want to sit with me, please do, or sit with Celestra. The choice is yours. Or if you want to hide in your tent, if you're more comfortable. Don't step foot in the Green Gorge, though.
What is her tag along doing at this point?
Maybe they just sort of said like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god."
Yeah, she's just mega god.
like, yeah, she is like. Again, you guys are very, very powerful people. Let's not be real. Like, thematically speaking, at level 11 or whatever level you guys are, I think it's 11. You are sons of bitches who are tough. She ain't anything. She's an NPC. She's got 10 hit points at best. She is seeing you guys with awe enough as it is, seeing a god in front of her, and very much like yourself, Israelion, she knows about this tree in Balo. She's heard the rumors. She's heard the tales. She's grown up with the same ideas as you did. She even was sent out on this mission like you were, and very much like yourself as well, just lost everybody like you did. She is in the same sort of awe state that you were initially. My cable is very much in the way there. She is gobsmacked by this whole thing, and is just completely, in a positive way, taken aback.
Is there like a pond or something around?
Very much
What?
so. Yep. There's not inside the temple structure itself, but off to this, like down the south-facing slope. Let's say there'll be a pond. I will say as well, in case you need her, Maven will be sat by Celestra, the tree, the whole time. She is very much knowing that she went on this mission and it was for something. She was destined to unfortunately go through what she went through because it would lead her to you guys, who would lead her to the tree. Everything happened for a reason. She's rationalizing trauma in her head, but is finding peace with it in a very healthy way. So she will stay by the tree if you need her.
Of course, is going to go to the pond.
You take a little seat and then you sort of sit by the water's edge. Again, there's no ripples, there's a very, very light breeze, but not enough to disturb the water. And then you sort of peer in, you can see big koi fish that occasionally sort of bob up and go back down again.
If you don't mind me adding a little bit of flavour onto this.
Oh, please flavor text me.
I'd imagine when he first looks and he sees the fish and everything, he kind of watches them kind of swim about, and then he looks at the pond, like directly facing at it, and in the reflection he sees Lucia staring back at him, and he's like gobsmacked for a second, and then as he goes to like kind of like reach out for her, obviously his hand touches the water and the ripples disperse it, and he's just, for the first time in a long time, Falcoris doesn't go through a lot of emotions in a sense. He generally tries to hide them, but you just generally see that he's quite sad. He looks quite like upset, and he just kind of shakes it off and does what he normally does and goes bollock naked and goes into the pond to bathe.
All the fish.
Yeah.
Cover there. But no, Falcoris strips down to bollocks out and takes a smooth little dip in the water. Not for the first time that Falcoris is very brazenly got bollock naked in front of the party and taking a dip.
You okay?
But yeah, and as you sort of sit in the very, very well tempered water, like this is, it's not too hot, it is not like a hot spring, it is not freezing cold, it is nigh on perfect for what you just need right now. And you don't know if it's just because you're manifesting it to be this temperature or not, but it just feels good. And you sit there and you do wallow, not wallow per se, that's the wrong word, sorry, that's a bit too strong. You do sit though in your emotions, thinking of her, thinking of Lucia, the person that's been a staple part of you for the last, it feels like forever at this point. And she's just not there. And even still, I said this last session, you still are doing this. Well, you'll subconsciously ask something in your head as you have done, and there's an emptiness when there is a reply from another voice. And you probably will end up having to splash a bit of water in your face just to hide the tears. That might roll down your cheek a little bit.
That's
But
fair.
don't worry, you're a big tough boy. You're fine. Everybody else, is anybody else doing anything when you're finding your moments while Shanti does her work?
Elrio would just sit up by the tree, just back against it, relaxing for a bit and reading one of his books. He'll just go and
Lovely.
grab whatever one seems interesting from the library in his room.
Mm-hmm. You happily sort of merrily plod back to the tent, go into your room, pull out one of the many, many books that's in your personal bedroom. You come back and sort of lean against the tree. You get part of your backpack and roll it on, so you have like a pillow behind your head and shoulders to rest against. And you just read away for hours. Maven sitting there with you will make a comment at one point how, look at your boot. And now you sort of peer over your book and look and you see a butterfly with beautiful purple and yellow wings. You're sort of sitting, resting on the tip of your toes on your boot. And you just...
The first time she speaks to me, I shush her. But then I realised that she should really something.
But as you shush her, she's very, oh, sorry. But you will see the butterfly in your boot as you sort of sit there, just happy. If you don't mind me saying, you are just happy.
Quite content.
Contently good. It's been a while since you could just do this, just kick back, relax, and enjoy a good novella. And it's nice.
What's the pick on?
Where do you want to be on?
Oh, what did I grab?
Dwarven smut. No, it's a...
House of Fertile with Blood Mages 101.
Fuck, you just picked up the book that's had to kill the final say. Shit. No, it's just a good little murder mystery, let's say. That you read.
Okay, great.
Anybody else up to much?
I'll probably have a little play around with Adar. You're saying if there's these creatures in here that she's probably never seen before, the butterflies in it, I'm going to imagine she'd be quite adventurous and curious and want to chase them and whatnot. So I'll have a little play with her.
Yeah, there's very much the whole aspect of, again, kitten with several toys around her. And she is going back, although she is, she isn't a kitten. She is still a young adult, basically, for in human time, she's in her teenage years. But seeing all these senses and not being in such a terrible place, and that the night that you guys had prior fighting the creature, she's almost gone back to full kitten mode, and she is just bounding through the grass. There's several times she'll again get down low and start trying to pounce upon these little hummingbirds and such. She never catches anything. They're all just a little bit too quick for her. And by the end of this play session, before Shanti comes and picks you up, Adar is covered in grass blades and smells of it. But she, again, like you, is happy. Wash and Lavender, anything you guys would like to do in the downtime right now?
Lavender just walk with Brownie and admiring the different plants and see how many she can name.
Lavender, it's quite fun because, again, you, as I sort of mentioned before, how you get to know these other plants, you all start pointing out in your head and going, I know that one, that's called insert plant name here, that was also insert plant name there, because I don't know fucking plants. But then you swear you're seeing plants you've never ever seen before. And it's not just the case of they're not native to here, they're just plants you've never ever seen before, period. They have no place here, they are different. They're weird, they're mysterious, they're lovely. They're colours that are so vibrant, you dare think, have I ever seen a purple that pure? Have I ever seen a red that rich? These are colours that just are stimulating to eyes. Smells that are so beautiful, they just resonate in your heart. This is a ranger's paradise, so to speak. And very much like Adar, Brownie fucking loves it here. There's plenty of times Brownie's barreling through and having a grand old time. At one point, as Falcor is sort of brushing his hair back, sort of thing, you can hear Falcor's
No, no.
see Big Brownie Bear.
Brownie. Oh, fuck.
It splashes pond water everywhere. And just joins you in the bath for a little bit.
You smell like wet dog. We're gonna have to wash you.
As you speak to Brownie, Brownie thinks his invitation to come over as he just comes over with a big lick from nip to top of your head. Right across.
Thanks, Brownie. Not exactly what I was looking for. Come here, you big bugger. No, try and wrestle him under the water for a second or two.
You start wrestling the bear, and it is very fun to watch. And even Lavender, you can't help but just smile widely from ear to ear at this point, seeing this sight, and not just the sight of Brownie having fun, but just everything in this very peaceful land. And Wash, what about your fine self?
He's gonna potter about a bit. He looks profoundly uncomfortable, if I'm honest. Like, he doesn't like how peaceful this place is. It feels too out of place for him, and he's not comforted by it. He's more like, kind of like, this doesn't feel natural to me. I don't like it. I mentioned he's also very overwhelmed with smells. Because apparently that's a paladin thing. It's good at smelling.
Just the one person who's not having a good time right now.
I will, though, go up to the Wild Mother.
Mm-hmm. As she's sort of sitting there, you approach her, and she's sort of sitting right now in this little like stone circle that she sort of placed herself upon, and you can see that as you sort of approach the circle, there's almost like this dark green to light green shimmer in the air around her that's emanated from the rocks in an upwards direction. As she sort of sees you coming, and hello.
Evening. You wouldn't happen to have offcasts of wood or branches or anything like that from here?
Of course I can do. The one I don't have is Orthia's Celestra herself, but of course I can.
I mean,
Get
Living
you
Soul
those.
wouldn't ask for that. That's fair enough. But if I just could take offcasts, I'd appreciate that.
Of course, any of the trees you see inside my grove, please take what you need from them.
Thank you. No, walk away. But he's still kind of like, I think he's going to get wood and just try and preoccupy
Yes.
himself, basically.
Actually, as you thank you and begin to walk away, she'll actually call out to you if you don't mind. Are you okay?
You know, obviously,
I was going to ask, did I step on your toes there? Sorry.
slightly, but
I do
you know
apologize.
who my god is, and I'm sure you can understand that a place so peaceful becomes unnerving.
He and I don't often see eye to eye, it must be said. However, there are times where, not in this space, but in other space of mine, he has come to relax.
Well, maybe I'll do the same at some point. However, peace isn't something I feel I personally deserve to sit in at the moment. So it's kind of feels like I'm out of place.
Far for me to tell you how you should feel, but I hope everything is okay. And please do accept my apologies for upsetting you if I did.
No, not at all.
You're
I
not
don't
just
want to
saying that 'cause
start more
I'm a god.
rumors against gods.
You're not just saying that because I'm a god, are you?
No, I've sworn at my own god. It's fine.
Yeah. Next time I chat with him, I might ask him about that. Give you a
Maybe-
little giggle.
He seemed impressed at the very least, so who knows?
I
But
say he did. He's a fun one, Bowden. I have a soft spot for him at the end of the day. He's been through a lot, and often so do his followers.
Well, if I see any followers of the Wild Mother in need, it's only fair I extend a hand.
Here in Lorenthal, there's not that many. If you were to... I do know that the various temples obviously offer worship, but if you want to find people of the Wild Mother, go to Muirreach. Lovely people there.
I did assume. And in fairness, I understand. It's not like there's many followers of Bowden left.
Oh, fortunately not. But I think there's a... Well, Bowden definitely likes it better that way. It
He
took
does
some
like his
adjusting.
quality over quantity, doesn't he?
It's exactly that. Beforehand, back in the the before times, we'll call them, when he had worshippers like I and my other siblings do, of larger quantities, he didn't manage it too well in the sense of he was a bit overwhelmed, shall we say. So, what others call his downfall, he doesn't quite see the same. And he's happy, which is the main thing.
I mean, yeah, happy as you can be as a god who everybody thinks is dead, you know.
I think one of your friends in particular does relate to that in some way.
Possibly. It's a unique request, certainly.
It's an interesting one. I do worry, but it's not for my business to think upon. I've been asked a favour, and I shall see it through without questioning it.
May he recall that favor at any time?
If he wishes to.
I might give a crack at seeing if he'll take up a little bit of fame then.
That's for him to decide. We can only but have a conversation with him about that. I,
Oh, exactly.
however, will not. But yes, if you want to take any shavings or wood, please help yourself. And if there's anything else I can do for you, please just ask.
You know, I would, but I think he wasn't in the best of moods last time I spoke to him, so I'll just keep my toes up around other gods, really.
Would you like me to just give him a nudge? I know it can be a bit of a stubborn one.
He has spoken to me twice in my life, once when I was about to die, and the second time after I'd completed my first oath. You can try, however, I don't think he'll actually go and say anything.
I'll just give him a little poke, as I say. Can't promise anything with him, but I'll put in a word.
Yeah, I understand how spirited he can be about his own decisions, shall we say. Not
That's
that
a good
he's
term for it.
a stubborn bastard.
Is that what you called him?
Other things, mainly, yes.
Oh, I'm glad you're not one of mine. I can't help but say. A bit too
I'm
feisty
sure I
for
would
me.
have. I'm sure I would have treated you differently given the circumstances. You could maybe ask him the circumstances. He might agree with me.
Well, I can but ask and get the opinions.
Indeed. I'm still going to go take those pieces of wood. This conversation has been lovely. I'm still not very calm, so
That's fine. I should be done in the next few hours, so I'll come and get you all when I'm ready.
perfect. Like you, he'll just kind of walk away, like very sheepishly now.
Probably the first time. It's very rare to have Wash looking sheepish, and he's sort of a bit red in the cheeks, sort of walks away a little bit. There we go.
And I'll just stow those pieces of wood for later, I think.
Yep.
It's very much into something else.
Of course.
Do it with it. Probably seeing Wash speak to the wild mother, go away and come back with a bunch of sticks. Could I also go up and speak to the wild mother?
Of course. Same sort of thing. You approach that stone circle. You can see this greenish hue that's almost like a barrier between you and her, as she sits in the middle of this circle. And as again you approach, hello.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt. Could I
Of course.
maybe ask for a favor or two, really? This it's not much, but whatever your favorite plant is, could I have some seeds for it? Just from my mother's garden.
Ooh. Where are they going? Your mother's garden.
Yeah.
I'll compromise. I'll give you my favorite flowers from this plane of existence. How would we say that?
Honestly, I don't even consider flowers on other planes. That's exceptional.
You're welcome. Yes, I
And
can organize that easily for you.
the second, could you get me some strong, healthy wheat seeds? It's a
Wheat seeds.
gift for our friend.
Even she sort of frowns her brow. Wheat seeds.
Well, actually, you know what? Better yet, can you just give them to Falcoris?
Certainly, I can.
I'm running a farm all the time. Don't say it's for me.
Of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll just walk off and go back to my spot. Maybe.
You see in the grass against Celestra that this perfect outline where the grass has been flattened by your outstretched legs and Bahuki. You sort of shuffle back into the spot again and read again once more. And it does take her, as she advised, a few hours or so of you guys just finding yourselves around this peaceful grove before one by one she begins to recall you all towards the center by Celestra. I dropped another dice. I need to stop fidgeting.
Reptiles.
She basically she brings you all back one by one, politely asking you to come back to the center with Celestra herself. And I'm assuming you all gather with. No one's gonna be fuck you and just sort of leave her behind. You guys all reconvene
Yeah,
together.
Falcor gets
Brownie
out, bollock
included.
naked, and only puts on his like trousers. Walks up,
Falcor's-
completely wet, still
Nah,
just
let's be
just with
real,
shoes on, no armor, nothing on.
You've just got a dick towel. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
It's a loincloth.
Like,
Falcor sort of leans up against the stone structure, abs out, sort of pose.
Yeah, why
Look like
not?
an anime girl poster. And she, well, thank you for reconvening with me. First on the list, Destiny, Madam Meyer. She looks to Falcoris. Lucia will come back to you tonight,
all right,
as she was with you.
okay, that's understandable.
I asked, and the answer I got was not yet.
She still wants to play with me. Fair enough.
I'm sorry.
I thought that Madam Meyer herself would. Yeah, I think we both know mutually that it's down to her discretion of how this ends with me and Lucia.
It's down to her discretion how a lot of things end. Even I've had to come and ask her for favors over the years, and I'm not the only one. She is, in some ways, a bit more powerful than even us at times. In her own way.
I thank you.
You're, of course, welcome. She turns towards you, Elleril. Your call hasn't gone unnoticed. She would like a word at some point. When she's ready to approach you, she shall. You need not seek her.
Thank you.
Of course. And whilst I have the two of you here, a gift from myself. And she pulls out two little pouches from the earth itself. This is for you, Falcoris. And she hands you a small little bag. And she hands a similar one to you, Elleril. A gift from me to you. To both of you.
And what exactly is this? Because it doesn't feel like coin. I'm going to be honest.
No, yes. Unfortunately, it's not to my taste. No. I've had to speak with Madam Meyer. She made a few inclinations up to your future and how you'd very much like to settle on a farm. So I figured after my conversation with her and her being her usual tricky self, if I can dabble at least part of your future instead of her. So here are some wheat seeds. Inside this bag, as long as they stay in there, they will never rot, grow, or decay. They will be ever ready to plant for the minute you want to, and they will grow the strongest wheat you've ever seen. Don't plant until you're ready, though, you waste it.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
I
Something
know
that
it's not much, but if I can alter your future instead of Madame Meyer,
appreciate it.
I'd like to.
Truly. I do want to start my own farm at some point. Maybe down the line. Might be a few years, so I'm glad they won't rot. I know it's based on the soil that you get, so I'll pray to you for good soil.
I will answer your prayers. And for yourself, Ellerol, I know how much your family does have a green thumb, so... Well, I'll let you plant them and see what happens, shall we? But I promise you, they'll be beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, she sort of looks towards you for a second wash and just gives you a nod. That's all she does. Just gives you a little nod.
Just a nod back.
And I did reach for into the ether. The final say is indeed still in our rear. There's an old kingdom there called Rillis. That's where he resides. And at his side is the one you seek, Hex Warbreaker.
Alright. Guess we have that confirmed. What we do next, we need to talk over. But, I appreciate your help. And I appreciate your further help down the line. I will pray to you the day that I plant these seeds.
You don't need to become religious just for me, I will say that.
Oh,
I don't
no.
need your prayers.
Just
They
one
are
prayer.
appreciated.
Just one prayer
Just
for the
one
soil.
single prayer. Just a single prayer. Okay. Make it two. I'm kidding.
One in the day, one in the night.
Just a little good morning or good night will do.
Appreciate it.
And for yourself, lastly, she turns towards Israelion. A token of my goodwill?
Yeah.
You have done me a great service. Greater than I could really ask anybody for. And I strongly do appreciate it. What I would like to give upon you might seem small at first. And she sort of reaches back and she pulls out from her pouch what seems to be like it's like laminate but leather. I don't know how to word it. Let's give like a flat press, like a book without the pages in it, sort of thing. And as you sort of open it, you can see there is one of what appears to be Celestra's leaves held with beside it.
Yeah.
I would like you to take this. It comes with a gift, and it also comes with a request. My request first is you take this to Balo, and you tell them the tree is here. Let them know not to give up hope, but not to come looking yet. When the time is right, Celestra will reach out, and leaves like this will fall from the sky upon Balo. And when that happens, make your migration. It may not be for some time, but the time will come. The people of Balo deserve that, as they always should have had it. People of my garden. They will have to traverse through the dangerous Green Gorge, and that I cannot promise will be a fun journey, or a safe one. But when the leaves fall, come looking.
I will do that.
Thank you. And for the gift, it might not seem much at first, but I do hope that in some way it will prove useful in future to you. This comes with a title. Would you consider being a champion of mine? Fighting in my name and nature's name?
Oh, Wild Mother, I cannot think of an honor that is more higher than that. I was going to ask you for one final request, but I see
No.
it seems that like you have already fulfilled it. I dedicated my life into finding these monsters, slaying them in revenge for my mother, and that mission is done. I no longer want to find beasts, kill beasts for sport. I want to have a purpose. And if you wish to grant me the honor of being your champion, then I accept.
The honor is all mine. I know that you have had a tumultuous past, and you have closed this chapter in your life, but the book isn't yet finished, and there are many more pages to turn and read, and chapters to fill. If you would let me in to be part of that book, I would appreciate it myself. If you would do my biddings, I know you're not an overly religious person, so I'm not going to ask you to start spreading my good name around the place. But just keep me in your heart, soul, and mind, and more carry my honor than my name.
That I can do.
Thank you.
When I do speak your name, could I have that smell of your scent in the air so I know that you're with me?
Reverend always. And
Thank
even
you.
when I'm not on this plane and I can't look over you, know that Celestra is.
I will.
Now, there is the last matter. The one my least favorite of your requests. I'm so petty, I'm sorry, I do know it. I did reach out to the Raven Queen. And when you're ready, she would like a word with you all here. I just want you all to know this is the first time that she has ever come into one of my spaces.
Don't swallow roll, please.
No. I just want you to know how much what you have done is meant for me, and the sacrifice I am making in my pettiness.
I take it that means we can't ask for anything else ever again.
I wouldn't quite say that. I would just... nothing involving her, if possible.
There's a joke here, my mother. It's a joke.
You mortals have a weird sense of humor.
It's what we have to do.
Fair. Well, let me go get her. We will not have the meeting in here, next to my tree, my beloved. We will have it outside. And with that, she sort of saunters past you a little bit, and makes it to the bit just outside, the area just outside of your tent, is where she will sort of stand. And if you all follow suit,
Yeah.
she will then close her eyes, and she lets out a deep, deep, deep sigh before she closes her eyes deeply. Ready when you are, she says. And as she says that, the sun that's been splitting the sky above this grove doesn't darken the sense of like, ooh, eeriness, but the sun does take a little bit of a shadow against it as a cloud or two maybe passes over. And from the Green Gorge, you can hear a murder of crows and ravens all of a sudden call out. And you see, and all your attention turns, you sort of look towards the east, you can see all these ravens and crows, this big murder of them fly up in the sky and start. What's that thing called again that birds make the weird little pattern thing, miasma or whatever it's called? When the birds start doing that, the crows almost start mimicking that. In their larger form, it's not quite as neat as when the smaller birds, whatever they're called, do. I want to say it's sparrows that do that, but I could be completely wrong. I haven't watched Country Fowl in a hot minute. But they all start doing this pattern, and as you sort of are staring at this, wondering when the Raven Queen's figure is going to take hold from the ravens, you hear behind you. As you all look behind, you can indeed see for the first time ever you guys have actually seen her, the Raven Queen. You see her standing there. She, unlike Shanti, the Wild Mother, who right now again stands about 5'5" or so, she is doing the whole godly thing of making herself look as big as possible. She's standing between 6.5 to 7 feet tall right now. She wears, since you guys not seen her before, long dark robes over her back that trail across the floor. She wears a leather breastplate across her chest that's dark and that dark colored dark blacks and browns. She has two large scimitars that hang at her side and a porcelain mask that just sits over neatly over her face. The hood of the robe is pulled up to hide any features, and she wears gloves, so you can't see a single bit of skin upon her. You just see armor and clothing. And this piercing mask looks back at you all.
Nice to finally meet in person.
The sort of mask turns towards you in that really unsettling, like the head sort of like tilts to the side sort of way. Pleasantries, is it?
I mean, I don't see why we can't be civil.
What can I do for you all?
Oh boy. Few things, I guess. Now that we have you here, I was hoping we would never meet. No offense, but
None taken.
suppose the first that I would really like to know: how the fuck is Joel? Where is he?
Forgive my sour mood. It has not been easy as of late. Grand plans unraveling before me and things are going awry. Joel is one of them. It's not gone well.
Is he suffering?
No. I am ensuring that. But he is struggling.
This might be weird to ask a god of death, but if it comes to a point where he's struggling too much, let him pass on peacefully. Don't keep him in limbo, please.
He has nowhere else to go. There is no after for a man like Joel. He will be looked after, if it comes to that. But he will not get the same privileges that you all will get. Instead, he had them bestowed upon him in his life. He made a choice.
The next one is about your ex-champion. The final say.
I figured as much.
He sits in our rear.
Mm-hmm.
You must know something that can help us bring him down once and for all.
What would you like to know? I can tell you all I can. I can tell you, to the best of my knowledge, how the architect created him. But again, that's quite out of my depths. Hence, I went to the architects in the first place. I can't tell you everything.
Well, tell us everything that you know. You don't have to RP that if you don't want to go through everything if you've got a load list.
Well, you all seem to know a lot as it is anyway. My sister here, and as she says that, you can see the Wamaza physically shudder as she says that, has told me that she's already given you information about the ghosts. My idea. Architect's execution. I know that you have already defeated one of them. I can confirm that you scattering the pieces to the four corners of the earth will do nothing at all. Hide them all you want, it means nothing. The soul is trapped within the final form. All you need to do is break that shell, and I will do the rest.
Well, that information's huge.
He is a soul that I have tortured, broken, and made my enemy. Made your enemy. Made the world's enemy. He has cut his ties from me in ways that I couldn't even imagine possible, a soul that I cannot quite grab. As of right now, I can't grab even your souls because you're still breathing and still alive. Your hearts still beat true. It's once that stops, I have my final say. He escaped that. A flaw in my plan. I need him to be defeated once more. I need him to be broken apart, and the soul naked and bare. Then I will end it all.
Okay. What kind of things can he do that we should watch out for? Because I believe what we fought is not what we're about to encounter.
The ghosts are weaker. He is fast, strong, and a spellcaster. He doesn't just rely on his blade. He's a tactician. He will not just face you on an open battlefield, he will have planned it out first. Whatever place you will meet him on, it's more than likely a place he has planned to meet you on. And he will either have allies or traps awaiting. If he's alone, assume him not to be.
Alright.
He is angry. Use it against him.
Weaknesses. Anything.
It might sound odd, but his own hubris, his own anger, his own ego blinds him. He thinks himself of doing the world of good. He's blinded by his own ways. He cannot see the wood through the trees. Fitting metaphor for a place like this. Physical weaknesses. I'm afraid the architect sorted that.
Okay.
But he can be hurt like you or I.
Something that might help in that aspect of turning him into an anger rage that we could use against him. You granted me one of your raven feathers before when I asked for Joe. Grant me another. Let me show it in front of him.
I can do you one better. When you have your say with him, when you have your fight with him, in that moment, and she produces a feather from just inside the robe, just produces a long black raven's feather, jet black, almost obsidian. Simply drop this on the ground. Don't make a show and dance about it. Just drop it. I will send Joel in one last time. But, and I will emphasize that but, whenever you drop that further, he will appear. And it will be the last time you will see him. And that's not me being threatening. That's me being factual. The soul is weakening. The work done isn't going in a positive way. I can, with the Architect's help, stabilize him for now. For at least your immortal lives. I'm hoping it's not going to wait that long till you have to have your fight with him. But when I unleash Joel again, the effort upon him will be too great. When he comes back to me, he will stay with me. In the everlasting twilight. I tell a lie. It won't be the last time you see him. Each of you will get to see him one more time. When your own time to visit me comes, I will grant you that. Before I send you on your very merry ways.
Alright.
If you want to.
Having Joel in the fire will be useful.
It'll be done. As she hands a feather in your direction, Falcorus.
I'll take it and I'll like look over. Look at her and then just stick it into the bag of holding for the moment.
As you open it.
And no! We've got two gods by our side.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh right, oh no, the I thought it was gonna be Bagman. I was like
Oh,
Bagman's still in there, right? Okay, we'll be counter him at some point. Anyways.
I've just seen fucking what Kilo's doing.
Perfect timing for Kilo to come in, by the way. Perfect timing. Good stuff. But yeah, then of course, thank you. The last point, last question. We're fighting on two fronts for you.
Mm-hmm.
The final say in this Great Reclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the Great Reclaimer? Surely you have some information now.
I do.
Oh boy.
The Great Reclaimer is a troubled individual from the City of Chains. Once a slave, you've probably heard this tale 1,000 times in fables and stories of old. Once a slave rose to power. Now he's become the very thing that he sought to stamp out all those many, many years ago. Yes, he is Shader Kai, in case you are wondering as well. He has now rallied up the City of Chains. Has turned it against me, the whole city. Demolished my temples, killed my entourage and worshippers, and effectively cut the city off from me. Holy war isn't my thing, so I am not trying to reclaim it from him. But he is miserable in the Shadowfell, and who can I really say? I can't blame him. He wants better for his people, and he still sees himself in his own twisted way as one of the downtrodden slaves, even though he sits upon the thrones of Chain. He commands his House of Iron to do wicked things in the Shadowfell, rally more troops, convert more people to his views.
Copyright claim, just saying.
Fair.
You bastard.
Callum Field will have his solicitors to him very soon. Don't worry.
That's what his new slash is called, Solicitor.
Sorry to interrupt.
I cast lawsuit. He rallies them. And I will give him credit, he is a great speaker. He can gather a crowd. But he only knows one way at the negotiating table, and that is to break the table and use force instead.
So you don't think he can be reasoned with? That we can supply him a new world?
Not easily. You would have to be the most skilled or come with simply the best offer. Your best offer would probably just be surrendering.
Well, that ain't an option for our side.
I do know one thing. I've had spies in the city. He's constructing methods of planar teleportation, using powerful arcanists, and who knows what else you mortals are up to. He's been building up a large naval fleet. Whatever's coming your way is coming by sea. Keep your eyes up to the water.
All right. Then I requested a raven feather from you. You gave me Joel. I would like to request me one more thing. A way to teleport to the Shadowfell. A way that we, here, this party, can go to the Shadowfell as we please.
As you please. I suppose. And she sort of looks at all of you and she waves her hands over, and you can see that your boots, all darken in color. Whatever your color your boots may be, they don't lose their color, but they all darken in hue almost, as the saturation's been turned down. When you wish to, and make sure you do wish to, you can will yourself there now. Once in, once out.
Sorry,
No
just
more,
right.
no less.
Once in, once out. Okay.
I can't do it to you at will whenever you so please. Mortals should stick to their planes.
I was reaching. I appreciate it though.
Do not see me as your enemy.
I don't trust you.
I didn't say that. Do not see me as your enemy. I made mistakes. I am paying the price for them. I want to end this as much as you do. I didn't want to take Joel permanently away from you. I don't care if you trust me or not. That's fine. I am on your side, though.
With your wind at our backs, and others, and I'll give a wee smile and nod to the Wilmer if she's still there, unless she's
She
bailed
is.
out.
She's very much still got her back to the conversation, but she's listening in.
With your winds at our back, it will help. We'll end this.
I hope so.
I suppose this is a selfish request as well. I've been quite selfish with Wild Mother there as well.
You've got gods in front of you, why wouldn't you be?
It's for someone not religious, but how's my Mirage unit doing? They're not tearing the place up, are they?
They've all went their respective ways.
And Joe?
They are all at peace and happy. Joe argued.
That's probably
I
about right.
admired it. I admired it. She begged to come back. It was actually not physically, of course. It was hard to deny her that request. It's not often you see such devotion for love for somebody else. And I might be viewed as a heartless bitch, but that isn't true.
Well, please pass on my regards and tell her I'll see her soon, in a few 100 years.
I shall.
And I'll look to the rest of the party like, Guys, I've been doing all the talking. How many wanna? Okay.
If it makes you feel better, I never thought you were an enemy. And I am sympathetic to what you need to deal with.
I don't know if you believe me when I say I appreciate that.
I do.
And I appreciate that. You have all done a great many things in this world. And I can't deny I have fucked up your lives in ways that I fucked up your life thousands of years ago. I put you in a position that I didn't know was even going to be a possibility. I can't guarantee much in life. It's not my domain. But when you all come to see me again, you will be looked after.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else before I return?
Just one.
Of course.
What happened to Joel if he dies in that final fight? Or I suppose if his body fails, it's destroyed.
The same result as if he came back to me willingly. He will be looked after. He will be cherished. As a champion should be.
Fine.
Jesse will fucking jump in the chat.
Oh, jeez. Okay, fair.
No. But no,
You're
if
not
he
getting
falls-
my soul, though.
Something tells me that's a fight and argument I'm not really willing to put up with.
I don't think it'll be me you're arguing with first.
I know. That's what I'm more referring to.
If
The second you come to me, Wash, I am passing you off, and I mean that with the greatest respects. You will not wait in the pools. You will go right to him.
what happens to those that haven't found a home for themselves?
Home is a funny place. There is always a home. It's whatever you make it. There is a place, a home for the homeless. It's where the official title is the unclaimed. But it's where the home for the homeless go, sorry. It's a special place. It's an afterlife. It's peaceful. It's different. Whereas someone who might worship my sister here, and again, as she says that, there's that reaction from the Wild Mother, would go to her landscapes and her beautiful, never-ending gardens and forests. Someone like yourself, Wash, would go to Bowden and, I don't know, sit at his war table and plan boring meetings for eternity. Where they will go, those without, to go to a place where there's just happiness, to put it bluntly and somewhat soppily. They don't enjoy the activities of their godly domains that yourself, Wash, or other folk of religion would go to do. No, they just go to a place where there is peace, tranquility, happiness, and their manifestations brought real before them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I think it's time I left. I can feel where I'm not wanted. And she sort of looks the porcelain mask over towards the wild mother. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's been nice to see you all face to face. Joel spoke very highly of you. In his own way.
We all know what that means.
Farewell. And with that, she turns and she starts walking, and she just walks through into the dark forest of the Green Gorge until the black of her cloak becomes the black. The black of her cloak blends in with the dark shadows, and she disappears from sight. And you're just once again alone with. Jesus Christ, Andy. You're once alone, once again alone with just Shanti there.
Well-
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Certainly
That
an
is the look with
experience.
which two gods face to face. Not often that mortals can say that.
Indeed. I mean, we should probably start work to bail up.
If you so wish, I can take you there. If you like to spend the rest of the day here, of course. Make use of the facilities. Or if you want to go, I can send you on your way just now.
Oh shit! Hang on, let me go and get my armor.
Fuck, I had this whole conversation in his loincloth, Jesus.
Yes, very much.
You adorn your armor once more. Then appear back to your group, fully dressed.
I'll let Azraelion decide that. If you want some more time here.
No, there's not enough time here. There's not really much else to do. Probably best just to go back to Balo, get the mare out, send them out to the wild, and spread the message.
Not a problem at all. She then asks you to also disassemble the tent, so again, it's not going to be left behind here. You guys will probably take the time to do that. Maven will, of course, join you. Oh, excuse me, won't want to be left behind here. As peaceful as it is, she would like to go back home to her own family. And she gets you all to sort of bunch up close to each other. And unlike when Emmerich has done this, all stand in a circle, grab hands, and that sort of stuff. She doesn't need you to do that, but she does get you to sort of bunch up close to each other and start rubbing shoulders. And she closes her eyes and puts her hands out by her side and slowly begins to raise them up. And as she raises them up, you guys can feel the wind begin to pick up and whip around you. You can see these large leaves of Celestra that are on the ground begin to rise up. As before you can see almost a tornado is starting to form around you. But where a tornado is cold and harsh and aggressive, yes, the wind is fast, but there's almost a control to it. It's warm as well, and you don't feel threatened being in the eye of it. Until from sky to floor, you are in this rush of wind, with her just on the outskirts, and through this physical haze of wind before you, she smiles at all of you, and gives you a very, very warm smile, is all I can word it as. Her eyes linger upon you for one last time, Azraelion, before the tornado collapses in on you guys. And there is that moment, as peaceful as it is, there is that sort of, your heart does skip a slight beat as the tornado collapses. And as the winds die down and the leaves, that are now normal-sized oak leaves, sort of brush away into the foliage beneath, disappearing into the ground, you can see that behind you, just behind you is the Green Gorge. You stand right now about waist high in ferns and small saplings, about waist high. And about 500 meters away is Baylor.
Yo. I think the first protocol that I'll do when I get to Bale would go to just double check the name. Oh, I guess go to Artur.
Yes, you go to Archer, yep. Your old friend, the woodworker.
Yeah, he'd be the first protocol.
You make your way over and you can see that as you sort of approach, you guys have been gone a couple of days probably. No, definitely, sorry. Well, day and a half. Either way. You can see that right now there's some small, like, you know, outside of his workshop, you can see there are a couple of like low scaffolding, like single story bits of scaffolding. As you can see that he is repairing the windows and the double doors that were blown off during the sword incident, we'll say, where you accidentally summoned the two primeval entities. He is repairing his workshop, and as he sees you guys approach, excuse me, he's, oh shit, you're back. You made it.
Of course I am back, and I'll present the trophy that I've got hanging over the shoulder. I believe this was the beast that has been terrorizing the village.
Oh the gods, that's fucking. I don't know what you said it, but you did it. You've killed the beast. Is it over?
I don't want to lie to you. It is partially over. There still is one more roaming the Green Gorge somewhere, but we are unable to find it or track it. But we have taken out the mother, we have taken out these younglings.
Well, that's a fucking. You killed 3 of them.
We killed 3 of them. I could not have done it alone.
Well, my friends, I don't know how to thank you. I genuinely, I'm stunned. The gold is still sitting there. You didn't take it. Please.
No, you keep the gold and continue to do the renovations of your shop for the damage that we have caused for summoning in those spirits.
Honestly, fuck that. Like, that's nothing in the.
I don't wish to take it. If my party do, they can take it. They can split it.
Well, to the rest of you then, because he's too fucking nice. If you want it, the gold is there.
I go by Israelians, Beacon.
I also bring news of the tree.
Fucking please keep your voice down a wee bit, lads. You know what happens when we talk about the tree.
I'll show him the leaf.
Oh, that's big, isn't it?
This was to come back to Belo, and I have a message from the Night Mother. She has said that we are not to go looking for the tree, as it is not safe at this moment in time. When it is safe, we will know, as these leaves will fall from the sky. That is when we go for our pilgrimage.
You spoke to the Wild Mother.
Is Raven with us?
Is who, sorry?
Naven. Naven.
Maven.
Maven, sorry, yeah, sorry. I thought you said Raven. I was like, who? Maven, yes, Maven is with you, yeah?
Yeah. Maven, we found her in the woods. She accompanied. She can back up the story.
She, because I'm done doing my bullshit female voice, confirms that indeed you guys did meet the Wild Mother. Well, fuck me, that's just impressive. You spoke to a god.
What? No, I need to ask your opinion.
You spoke to a god. You need my opinion.
I made a deal with the mayor. When I kill these beasts and return, he is to venture forth into the Green Gorge. But I did not fulfill the mission, as there's still one roaming. Shall we send him into the Green Gorge, or shall we leave him here?
Roll to see how devious bastard he
He
is.
was already different. There's one remaining, so fuck him, I say.
That is all the motivation I need.
But no, you've. I know you said you killed them all, as you sort of said, but you didn't know there was more than one, so. You've done your end. And more if you killed 3. And that mayor's been nothing but problems. Now, do I think the Green Gorge is the punishment for him? No, it's a death sentence, but. You do what you gotta do. At the end of the day, Azraelian. I'll
And
back you.
who would you recommend to be the mayor of Balo if he was to?
You want the fucking answer, because I think you know it.
I am otherwise engaged.
Then I don't know. It's as simple as that. You're the only man I think for the job.
It's not something I can do.
Perhaps we can sort of figure out a council situation again.
It is probably best. We need to have someone that believes in the Night Mother, needs to have a steady head on their shoulders to know not to go into the Green Gorge and trust what I say when I bring this thief.
I mean, Enthier's a good shout.
Inferior is a good shout.
He's as level-headed as they come. I'm
I
not
shall-
saying he'll want a seat of power, but I think he'll help certainly negotiate one, though.
I shall go and see him.
Fair. And the rest of you, again, I know I'm speaking to Israelian this whole time, but I just want to again say thank you so much. I know he generally couldn't have done without your help, and Bilo couldn't have done this without you either. You've done this little town a great service. And I know I speak as if I'm on the whole time, I'm just a little woodworker, but I think I do speak for Bilo in this one when I do say thank you. And Bilo owes you a lot. Even if it doesn't know it. But it will
Think
fucking
it's-
do soon, I can promise you that.
I think it's about time Balo had some good luck for a change. You know,
I think you're right. I think you're very right. Can you solve the nightmare situation whilst you're at your heroics?
believe me, we've tried. But give us
You
a
didn't mean to
second.
bring the mood down. I was just making a little joke there. I'm sorry, lad. I didn't actually mean to bring the mood down there. This little
PTSD.
halfling form like punches your upper leg. Right. Well, I'm gonna go tell some folk. Don't know who. Just gonna yell at the first person I see. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll head on off over to Kinfield.
No problem. As you guys are you
Just-
okay with Israeli? Sorry, or yep.
Yeah. Just before we make it there, I'd just like to stop Israelian and just. So I agree. I think Kinthier's the best person for this job, but we do need to be aware that the reason I knew Kinthier in the first place was that he was old friends with Orion, the leader of the Thieves Guild in Brazenfort.
Okay.
I don't know how involved Kinthier is. I think it was mainly just I have a friend here. He'll make sure you're supplied for going out into the Green Gorge. I think
guess-
it's probably
yeah, well-
important we figure out how deep that connection runs before we go forward.
My suggestion to Kinfield would have been he perhaps takes a seat on the council, but not becomes the mayor of the town. That again, if no one else is willing to step up and he's the best candidate for the job, then why rob him of that opportunity?
I think he's a good man, and I don't think he would ever do anything to intentionally hurt anyone.
It would be good to
Uh,
find out his intentions and where his loyalties lie when it comes to Orin.
Orion's used people for less. Just-
Right.
So, and we know he is. He's planning something, at least.
Perhaps we can ask Kinfear what he may be planning.
I think it's worth a conversation at least.
In exchange of that information, he could potentially be the leader of Balo.
Excuse me.
Kinthier's he's good. He likes to see the best in people, I think. He the Thunderbrands. He rehabilitated one of their warriors, Goliath, for a while, took him on as an apprentice. He likes to give people a chance. I feel like he'd be good for Bela.
As long as the people of Bale stop from venturing forth into the Green Gods to search for this tree, I am happy.
Let's go see the apothecary then.
Let us go.
Can I
guys
grab Wash? Well, real quick, and I mean real quick, as we're walking, somewhere. I'll just kind of saddle up next to him and just be like, "All right, champ."
Dude, tell me, dude, how Dad put hand on the shoulder sort of thing, and you say it, light up a barbecue.
Let's just say, "All right, champ." Raven Queen gave it away.
You trying something new, are you?
Nah, I just want to make sure you're all right.
Yeah, I'm pretty fine, thanks.
Just a large title, right?
Don't know what you're on about.
Oh. Raven Queen gave it away. You didn't want to even use your name for a while. I just want to make sure you're all right. You can confide in me. I'm not going to judge or anything, but I think it's good. I think you'll suit the champion role well. And I'll just carry on walking after that.
Fair enough. He's just gonna kind of shrug. Just keep going.
No problem. You guys get to Kinthier's apothecary, and again, you can smell and see the various sages and dried herbs and leaves. He's got in this little drying rack that hang outside on the overhang of his roof to protect them against rain. And as you sort of open the door, there's the little bell rings off, and yeah, as you guys enter, you can say, "By the gods, what is that smell?" As you guys, "Oh, it's you. I think you must become nose blind. You all stink." As
Excuse
he
me.
looks over you.
Not me. Thank you. I did bathe
Oh,
in the Wild
you-
Mother's pills.
You did take a bath. Fair enough. Not that I would know. I've just realized the music's all wrong. There we go. But welcome in. I'm glad to see you're all back. How are you? How did your journey go?
Can someone take over this bit of roleplay? Because I cannot shift this bit of off, man.
Say that, man.
Yeah, good Kinthier. We were able to track down the beast, and we killed it, and
Oh wow,
took offspring as well.
that's amazing news, and Baylor will be appreciative of that. That's a great service, and a weight off our shoulders. That's for sure. People will be so scared to go do the lumber work now.
We spoke with the Wild Mother as well, and she
He sort of, as you sort of say, holds up a big furbug finger. You spoke with the Wild Mother.
yes, the tree that everyone wanted to settle. These beasts weren't protecting that grove, so to speak. They were trying to limit her influence in the region, hunting anyone.
Sense.
She did say that one day it'll be safe for Bela to go to her when leaves fall from the sky. Probably just indicate to Israeli on who this.
Yeah, I'll show the booklet with the leaf.
Yeah. Wow. I I'm stunned. That's I was gonna say the best news I've heard in a while. I think that's probably the best news I've ever heard in my life. I've never heard someone return from adventure with such overwhelmingly positive results.
And another good news. This is pretty much the evidence that we need to displace the mayor of Bela.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with a coup now and again.
But that's ultimately comes down to the next question. How close are you with Orion these days?
You say with Orion out loud in the open, he's like, "Well, I'm assuming these your friends here will know, of course, about who Orion is, and me speaking isn't going to put anybody in danger, is it?"
No, not in any more danger than they are with me being around.
Fair enough. Orion and I, we're friends, sure. We're not friends as if we write each other letters frequently, but you know, if I do get a little letter that slides across my way, I'll read and respond in kind. I'm not as active as I used to be with him, if you catch my drift.
I do.
Sexually, I mean, obviously. Sorry.
I,
Me, man, he's sharp, wrong.
I've been worried that he's going down a path that I don't think he ever planned on going down or wanted to. And a lot of people get hurt at the end of it.
The only reason I would find that hard to believe is Orion doesn't do something without knowing the end result. I'm not saying you're wrong, I just... Every action has a reaction that he's planned for.
The only
Positive or negative.
way I'd be wrong here, Ryan, the only way I'd be wrong here, Cynthia, is if I'm giving Ryan the benefit of the doubt.
And that in itself is a dangerous thing to do.
Yes.
Well, again, I haven't been operating with our friends for quite some time. I actually genuinely think the last time I was really doing a favor for Orion, job-wise, was when you approached my door all those moons ago.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, now and again, I've always sort of said if he's got an operative that's hurt and needs quick care on this side of the continent, I'm here to help. And sure enough, I've had the occasional thief operator come in my door in the dead of night, and I've helped patch them up, send them on their way with a full backpack and belly. Prior, many years ago, I did work in Brazen Fort, doing... I was never good at thieving. These big fingers aren't really good at pickpocketing and the like, but I've always been his go-to medicine man.
And full disclaimer, I don't operate with Orion anymore, and I'll just pull up the sleeve from my band brace sort of thing, just to show the scar where the mark used to be.
Can I ask, are you doing that discreetly so your other friends don't see, or are you doing this where everyone can see? Just so as I know, and so they know
No,
as well.
Fully no.
So you will see that where there was once a tattoo upon the wrist, there is now a deep scar. Kinthir sort of looks down and he wears this big trench coat sort of thing. He sort of then he sort of pulls his sleeve up, and you can see he's still got the tattoo on his wrist. That he hasn't taken his off, but you can see it's long faded. This is an old tattoo, and a lot of guild members will get their tattoo topped up, let's say, just to show it's very clear marking. You can see that in probably maybe if Kinthir lives another 10 years or so, it'll probably be mostly faded and almost completely invisible.
If the mayor's displaced, I think you're one of the best people to help lead Balo.
Oh, no, I
As-
can't do a leadership role.
As a member of the council, at least, I think you're very wise and you care about these people, and you're not
I-
superstitious like the rest of them.
You're, wow, sorry, you've caught me off guard there, friend, a little bit. I was not expecting that. Ooh, that's a big commitment you're asking me to do, and I don't know if I'm really. I know you see these positive qualities in me, and I am flattered, and thank you, but I don't think I'm the right man for the job.
Who do you think would be?
I don't
It's
know.
quite frankly, your endorsement is probably the most valuable piece of information that we have in solving this issue.
I think what Balo needs is a conversation. I think what Balo needs is an open council, once more, as you say, council, not a single mayor again. The system hasn't worked for us. Council, like the old days when I was but a young boy, worked far better for Balo. I might, you might ask me to help set this up, and it might turn out the people also share your viewpoint and want me to fill a role. And if there's a majority outcry, I will do it. But I will need the people to say for that me to do that. I will not just take that seat of power. That's what we were wrong last time.
Of
If
course,
the people want, I will listen.
All we really need from someone Kinfear is to make sure that no one ventures forth into the Green Gorge searching for this tree. Not until the leaves fall from the sky. We just need someone that people can trust.
Trust is a big thing. And it's hard to trust when you got so many different viewpoints of so many different people, one person. So I think having a council back will do that. And if the council's whole point is to make sure people don't go looking for this tree anymore until, as you say, the leaves fall, then that will be the council's move, is to make sure that doesn't happen. You would have my word for that.
Is Maven still with us? Sorry.
No, she'd have got to go see her family at this point.
Okay. Just ask her opinion.
Yep. Again, not to RPA, but Maven will agree that Kinthir is a very, very, very strong candidate. She would need to think about other folk as well, because a lot of people would be sort of suitable, but the issue being they've been such like a mayor sort of aspect of for quite a while now. They are used to the single person mindset of having just, for example, Kinthir in charge, but she also knows that that hasn't done Balo any favors, and a council system is probably better for it again. She would say that she would need to, again, she would want a fair election per se as well. She thinks the best way to do it is not have a council nominated for the people, but for the people to nominate their council.
I think though, if you let the people of Balo decide, when they decide they want a leader, if they want a mayor, you should run, because then you can at least be democratic in that sense.
Again, if it's what the people want, then yes. But I will not just throw my name into the ring willy-nilly.
Of course.
And I will say, if for some reason people think I am worthy and I am put in that seat of power, you're always, all of you, welcome around in Balo. And I give you my word that if I am to be a person of power here, I will A, not abuse it, and B, do what you told me to do. Make sure people don't go looking for the tree.
That is all we ask. We don't need someone that could be an authoritative figure. The people of Balo, they know how to handle their own business. I just need to make sure people don't stay out of the fucking Green Gorge.
Trust me, I think we all know that one now. and that will not be a problem going forward.
But if I have brought back this beast, well, if I brought back the head of this beast, and it may be slain, it does not mean that the dangers of the green gods are gone.
Of course not. There's plenty more creatures out there that we've been dealing with for ever. So, yes, you have vanquished a great foe, but the wood itself is an opponent to be reckoned with. We will respect that still, even if you have made it just that little bit safer.
I have another appointment with the mayor.
I'm sure it's not an invitation appointment, so I won't keep me from your business.
It will be a spectacle.
I'll sure to watch.
I didn't watch the first time, and there's not a force on Warrenfall that will stop me from watching this time.
Well,
Thank you, Cynthia.
thank you.
You're welcome. And I think really my thanks go to you. All of you. And I dare say we'll speak soon.
Indeed. Aurelion, you want me to go as the one of the lions again?
No, I would like all of you to gather the people of Baal. Have them watch.
All right.
I'll start knocking doors.
Yep. You indeed start doing the rounds, and it doesn't take you long until a crowd is gathered. And I'm assuming, Israeli, and you want this crowd to be gathered around the mayor's gaff, yeah?
More so like around the gaff, maybe just out into it, leading out to the Green Gorge where they can go, and just
Okay.
watch them walk away in.
No problem. And sure enough, with Israeli's instructions, you guys all chap on doors, stop people in their tracks, and some people I won't lie aren't interested in seeing, but a lot of people will want to see the spectacle with the mayor. And before long, maybe about 15 minutes, the news spread like wildfire, and then I would say 85 to 90% of Balo is out in the streets right now, for lack of a better term, on the gangplanks and looking over the edges, seeing what's going to be coming up. And Israeli, you are front and center of this right now.
I'll head to the mayor's hut first,
Yep.
and I'll chap the door to see if there's any sort of response.
You rasp your knuckles against the door politely. And there is a pause before you see on the bottom floor, the window to your left-hand side, the curtain that's been drawn moves aside. You can see the mayor's face peek through, and his eyes go wide immediately. Like, there's an immediate look of course, recognition, but recognition of what you being at his doorstep means. And the curtain is quickly closes shut again. And you can see the way the curtain's being pinched. He is still standing behind them, holding onto them for dear life. And you can see a little dent where you're assuming he's placed his forehead against the window pane or behind the curtains before he lets go. And you can see the curtains will take a more natural fall. There's a pause before the door unlocks and opens. And the mayor stands before you. And he's trying to stand tall and proud. He's trying to make himself look authoritative, but make an insight check for me. All of you can, if you so wish.
I don't think I need to. I think he's shaking himself.
That's a 5 from me on the insight.
5. You're not really paying attention to looking at what he's up to and what he's feeling. You're just here in this moment. But you can see, I had to get the fucking quote there from fucking Megamind. You can see that he is shaking his custom baby seal boots.
I got 21.
You see, indeed, he is shaking his custom baby seal leather boots. As he is trying to look, not imposing, but in a position of power, as if he is at the negotiating table and Azrael is coming to him for it.
Can I mingle in the crowd and then just like look for a fruit seller or like a vegetable seller of some kind. Just buy like a tomato or something like that.
Easy. You can exchange
Rotten
a couple.
tomato.
You can exchange a couple. If we grab a rotten tomato, he'll just give you rotten tomato. You know, it's bad stuff. But yeah, as Raylan, as you sort of approach him, look him up and down, he looks you very visibly up and down. He looks past and sees a crowd has gathered outside and out towards the edge of the Green Gorge. Well, I am assuming you've done your piece, Israelian?
It is time to go.
It's going to be as simple as that, is it?
If you are compliant, then it will be simple as that, yes.
Might you allow me to pack a few things?
No.
Please?
Yeah,
What-
with the
what-
tomato at this point.
What would you...
Make-
You know, I am no savage. I will allow you to pack some things.
Thank you.
Under
And
the
as you say-
supervision, under the supervision of my Adar.
Fine. Kelligon, whilst this is happening, can you make an attack roll for me, please?
Sure.
Using your dex.
As a rotten tomato, I was going to say it was a dex weapon.
This is Rotten Tomato is a dex-based weapon. Yep.
No. I'm not proficient with tomatoes, am I?
You are
So
not
I
proficient
don't-
with throwing Rotten Tomato, no.
Yeah.
But
Then it's a 12.
12 easily. He's not wearing anything, obviously.
Oh.
So as like you're saying, thank you. A wet splatter suddenly comes across his like neck to chin. He's like, fine. And he sort of brushes away, trying again to look dignified, but it's really not working. I just need to pack a few, I don't know, clothes, I guess. I've never been in the Green Gorge. What should I pack?
Maybe some clean clothes, maybe a sleeping bag,
I don't
Maybe-
have one of those.
maybe a prayer.
Fine, bear with me.
Perhaps
And
a
he
blade.
goes, good idea, good idea. And he starts rummaging around. Doesn't take him too long, maybe probably about 10 minutes at most, before he comes back with 2 suitcases. And it's very much like Hollywood style, where it's sort of like you can see like sleeves are hanging out the edge of the suitcase where he's just roughly closed them over. But across his back, he has his crossbow that he shot at you last time, and a small dagger that's just tucked into his belt right now. He doesn't have a sheath for it; it's just tucked into his belt. And when he puts his 2 suitcases down in front of you, like a man getting off the train, and I guess this is goodbye then.
It is a goodbye and a good luck.
I'm assuming I can go into the Green Gorge, go around Balo, and then come out somewhere else. Yes?
I would like
You
to
don't
see
be back
you.
here again.
I would like to see you survive.
Well, I think I can manage going through the wood. I don't think that's too fine. I'm not going to go deep into it, of course. And with a slightly annoying gusto, he picks up his 2 suitcases and begins to walk across the wooden gangplanks. And as he's going across, a couple of kids have seen what Kelgrom did and have had a very similar idea of getting some rotten fruit and rotten fruit and vegetables. And as he's walking along, "Fuck you!" is screamed out as a couple of rotten fruits is pelted in his direction. And these children behave! That's what they say, we're together. As he starts getting hit by fruit and veg, and he starts rushing off into the Green Gorge. He drops the suitcase at one point, he tries to double back for it. A potato comes and knocks his hand, he thinks twice and leaves the suitcase behind before he gets to the edge of the Green Gorge.
Alcorus is going to dip out, and he's going to change Mask of Many Faces into a kind of normal looking commoner amongst these folk, I guess. And
Yeah.
just before he steps foot into the Green Gorge, he is going to appear in front of him with a dagger in hand and hand it over to him, pointing in first.
Thank you. And he takes the dagger. He looks back at Balo over his shoulder. You can see he wants to say something to his people, but you can tell that they're not his people anymore. And he just
Make sure you,
looks back at the forest.
after
see, before-
sundown, try and get out. And I'll walk away after that. And then I'll just disappear in the crowd and reform back into Falcorus.
Before he actually goes in,
Oh, actually,
Oh.
of course, you can't do that.
Oh, I can't, can I? Because I don't have Lucia. Oh boy, well that's. Oh boy, well
can go to
Falcourse
Falcourse
does.
if you want.
Falcourse probably still do it. Falcourse kind of feels bad for this guy. So just before he goes in, I suppose Falcourse will be right on the edge and hand him the good
Yeah.
dagger and tell him that.
Before he goes in,
Mhm.
I'll say to him, I have ventured these woods for the past, how long have we been there? Say what, a day?
Day and a half, yeah, let's say.
Yeah, the past day and a half. And I have seen horrors beyond your imagination. But I did also find the tree that you were searching for.
It's real.
Of course it is real.
No, but you know what I mean. Like that, we could find it again. I wasn't a madman for doing this.
You send people to their death. Just because the tree is real does not mean the tree has to be found.
But if I understand what you're saying, but if you found the tree and it can make better for our people, then why shouldn't we strive for better?
The people,
You've seen it.
the people of Bellow strive for better, but not with human leadership. Remember, pointing in first.
He just gives a very reluctant nod before turning his back to you. And as agreed, as per your arrangement with him and the handshake you guys did, he starts walking into the Green Gorge. Before it doesn't take him too long, too many steps before the big thick trees start blocking your viewpoint from him. You try and peer around a little bit, not stepping in the Green Gorge yourself, but you try and peer around a couple of trees, but he very quickly goes out of sight.
As he disappears into the Green Gorge, I'll address the people of Bellow and tell them I'm not going to do it because it's my
Of course,
fault.
yeah, don't worry about it.
But I'll give them the good news of the tree. I'll tell them that this is what we have, and I'll show them the leaf, and I'll tell them when these leaves fall from the sky, it'll be safe to pilgrimage. It'll safe to make the journey into the Green Gorge and head towards the Wild Mother and the tree.
Really?
I'll also tell them that now we are looking for some sort of council, and any names forward are good enough.
Fantastic. As you're given this speech, we'll call it, when you are saying about the tree and the migration be possible when the leaves start falling, there is a loud round of applause and a genuine cheer of the people that anyone that's out right now, be it young, old, doesn't matter what creed or creation they are from, they are all clapping for you, Israelion. They are all clapping for specifically you right now. Yes, your party did this, but you are a person of Baylor, and you are the one that has brought them this news, this respite that one day there is going to be better. That people that died in these pilgrimages didn't die for nothing. That one day they can be at rest if that's what's keeping them at bay. That the tree is out there and it is wanting them to come, and one day it will be safe for them to do so, for the either be for them or for their children. And the applause is loud. And I don't think the Green Gorge has heard such a sound before, as that of many hands clapping at once simultaneously. You then go to tell them about the new electoral process of trying to set up the council, and again you can see immediately people are, yeah, we should definitely do that, and very quickly you see people are starting to organize, not polling stations, let's call them, but trying to get like designated like things like in a box, let's say, or put your name in the box if you think you'd be good, or nominate people. And it's going to take a while. This isn't going to happen overnight. You don't need anybody to tell you this, you just know this, but there is a general consensus that yes, a single mayor system won't work for Balo. It does need to be a council again, or at least a group decision of things. And they are going to try and form a council. It will take time. There will need to be a proper vote, democratically elected people who need to be screened as well. But Balo is going to change its ways as far as its political ways of running is working, and how we want to word that. but you have made the first steps.
I'll ask the party, would it be wise to leave the leaf with Kinfear so they know, or should it be something that we take with us? But no, you know what? I'm not gonna give it to Kinfear. I'm gonna give it to Maven because she never
Maven?
got it. She never got anything for the Nightmare.
No problem. As you sort of give it to Maven, she is very much, again, we won't RP this. She is initially reluctant, but I'm going to guess you're even more insistent than her reluctance at the end of the day.
Yeah, and then I'll explain. Obviously, you but and on the pilgrimage, just like me, you've left without nothing. You've survived, so on. It's
Yeah.
only right that you have this.
She will be very, very, very grateful towards you for that. She will take it, and she promises that even if the leaves fall in her lifetime, that she will guard this one forever and a day, and it will get passed from to her children, her children's children, so on and so forth, unless at any point you want to take it off of her. But until then, she will guard it, and it will be a family heirloom per se, of her time when she got to speak with the Wild Mother herself, an actual goddess, something that a common mortal doesn't get to do ever. And this is proof of that.
I like that.
You guys all spend the night in Baylor, I'll say at this point. You know, this has probably taken the best part of the rest of the day by the time you left the Wild Mother's Grove and Celestra and came to Baylor. It's probably now early evening, and as you guys are doing this, there is a buzz in Baylor right now. There's just an energy in the air. Even the fireflies that dance when the sun begins to set seem to be a bit more ecstatic than usual. And you guys all begin to eventually, after, if you want to celebrate, you can. If you just want to have a quiet one, you can as well. But eventually you guys do begin to, I'm going to assume in your tent, because I always assume this at this point, begin to bed down for the night. As you are all going to sleep one by one, Falcorus, you're getting ready to go to bed and tuck in. And suddenly you get an exceptionally violent headache. The blood vessels in your nose rupture, and you start pouring blood out both your nostrils. And you hear a, shit, whoa, what the fuck, where am I? Where am I? Where the fuck am I? Jesus, where?
Lucia, about fucking time.
Falcorus.
Oh,
Oh my god, I'm back! Oh, I don't mean the but I mean the I'm back!
what? Lucia, fucking hell. Where the fuck did you go?
A woman took me.
What woman?
Weird woman. Well, she said her name was Madame Meyer. Don't know if you ever met her before, but
Oh.
yeah, she was weird.
Tell me, why the fuck did she take you? Did she describe that bit to you?
We had a full conversation.
Don't stop now. You've never stopped before. Carry on.
Okay. She wants to make a deal with me.
Okay. What's the deal? Information. Let's keep this going.
I don't know. I don't know if you're going to be happy with me.
Oh boy, I don't like when you start things like that. Okay, well, here we go.
And that's Lens no. No, she one minute I was just talking to you and just, you know, having a good old time. We just killed the big beast thing, and then all of a sudden I wasn't where we were. I was in this like theater thing. It was really weird, but she came out and she spoke to me, and I could go on for hours about this, but I don't think there's time ultimately. She made me a deal, or offered me a deal, I should say first. That when you don't need me anymore, that when you don't need my powers or abilities or protection, I'll get my body back. Formed as anew. Like, I made sure there's no catches like, it's your dead body though, fuck you! No, it'll be my body, alive and well. I'll be me again. I'll be whole.
Right, so where's the part that I don't like?
I'd be working for her.
I figured as
Madame
much.
Meyer apparently can make enemies, and some people that she needs taken out.
Out of
I would be
curiosity, did she tell you
that
what
dagger.
names?
No, she didn't say anything like that. She just says that if the deal was accepted, I would be her dagger. I would have a free life apart from whenever she called upon me. And then I would need to go. And there's no... I would need to kill someone whenever she asked me to. Without question, without complaint. If she says the word, someone needs to die. Whoever they may be.
You're right, I don't like that part.
No,
I'm
I'm sorry. I didn't make the deal, I didn't do it, no.
You didn't make the deal, why?
No, because you'd be pissed off at me.
There's a chance to get your own body, Lucy. I don't know if there'll be any other ways.
We'll find another way. But I know you'd be mad at me if I said yes. So I told her to... I'll think on it.
That was a wise decision. We'll take our time. We'll try and find out if we can find a way to get you and your body back. Properly. If we
I'm
can't,
sorry.
if we can't, then take a deal.
But I've got a concern.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and her aren't really best of friends. What if she asked me to kill you or somebody else in the party? That's... See, if you and I weren't friends, I would say yes in a heartbeat. But I like you and I like everybody else here too. I know they probably don't know me, but I like them. I think them as friends even if they don't see me as a friend because I'm not there, but... I just
What?
had a feeling with the hag, what if she said, one of you had to die? I couldn't do that.
Lucia,
So that's why I said no.
as much as we don't see eye to eye, me and Madam Maya, I don't think she's gonna kill me.
Not yet.
No, but once this is done, once this is completely done, then you've got your own body, and there's no more big massive threats that me, the defender of the throne, has to go for. I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna do farmland. She's not gonna be interested in me anymore. I'm not gonna go after her. I'm not gonna hunt her. Even her brother can run around the Green Gorge. Somebody else will come along and find out that problem. She's twisted our fates to come to this point. She knows what she's doing. She probably done this to make you stronger, not me.
Either way, we'll find another solution.
We'll try. But if we can't find a solution, then take the deal.
I will.
Weirdly, and I know you're never going to let me live this down for the rest of my life,
What?
I missed having you around.
Know it. Oh, Christmas me, na 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 na.
I will say, it was nice to get a fucking sleep without you constantly going on about whatever shit you normally go on about.
You enjoy my midnight rambles.
No, it was nice to get a bit of sleep.
Alright, I'll shut up then.
Just tonight, just when I'm going to sleep, just when the head gets to the pillow, please. That's all I ask. You can ramble on the rest of the time, whenever you want.
Alright, fine, fine. What I miss?
Oh boy, and then we'll see there. I'll fill her in with the whole what the fuck happened after she left.
Yeah. She is both fascinated and enraged that she missed out the opportunity to meet a god. Or two of them, actually, sorry. But yeah, she is not impressed while simultaneously being in awe. And yeah, that, as I say, where we will end tonight's episode of The Shadows We Fear. Not quite what you guys were expecting, you bunch of bastards! So context, we have the Discord, obviously the private chat. These guys have been going on about me about, oh, we're going to see Madame Mar all week. I'm like, lol. I'm out.
No,
So-
he just give us a god, you know, one of the prime gods. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's a big curveball.
Yeah, I'm a fan for it. As you said earlier, Ghost, like you didn't have anxiety still playing with me. I know why now. But before we disappear, Andy, is there anything we need to do before we say good night? Excuse me.
Not really. Thank you for everybody that's been in chat. The Real Clone, I congratulate you once again finding your online games. And I hope it all goes well. I know you're using my voice, which is going to be weird. A Tabaxi.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Tabaxis before we went live as well. But
That's a plan. It's a plan.
that's a plan. But no, thank you very much. As you can see, our community manager, Mr. Ghost Malone, is already putting in links to go and check out. We do have some things coming very, 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 very soon. And I mean very soon. It's exciting. We've got some content coming out in different areas. We do have the YouTube, so please go and check out our YouTube. We are starting to get that live. You will see all the VODs of this campaign that we have transfer over there, and that's where VODs will be stored from now on, thanks to Twitch in our 100-hour limit. But there you go. But yeah, we will be a lot more live on YouTube, so if you can, please go over there and subscribe, hit that wee bell notification so you can get the notifications come through whenever we do post, and obviously follow this channel as well if you do really like what you've got here. But yeah, I think that's really about it, so I'll throw it back to yourself, Matt.
Thank you very much. Well, as per usual, my usual message, I just want to say very much thank you so much to my players for coming along with this adventure. I know tonight has been a bit of a delay since we weren't here last week, so thank you so much for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed my many curveballs. To you guys, I hope you in chat have enjoyed coming along and seeing this story as well. Again, we shall be here next week with any given luck, so in the meantime, I'll bid you all a fair evening. I hope you stay safe, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys!
Bye!
Bye.